Regional mediators have arrived in Mali to try and broker peace in an escalating political crisis following deadly protests. Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan led a delegation from the Economic Community of West African States, known as ECOWAS, to have talks with President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta and a protest movement demanding his resignation. At least 11 people died in 3 days of unrest after thousands of Malians took to the streets in the capital Bamako last Friday. Demonstrators set fire to Parliament and the public broadcast television. Security forces attacked the protest movement's offices.
The fight we are waging is to restore the Malian nation, to give this nation its dignity and honor. It is to ensure that this catastrophic governance that has brought us to this situation where Mali is being ruined before our eyes is no longer a reality but a memory.
In power since 2013, the president has been accused of corruption and failing to solve jihadist attacks and the struggling economy. In a bid to calm the unrest, he announced the dissolution of the Constitutional Court.
Everyone will agree that this time all the limits of tolerance have been reached and exceeded. Extremely serious facts have been raised which deserve examination and certainly appropriate judicial sanction.
Qui mérite examen et assurément sanctions judiciaires appropriées.
Demonstrators want the president to step down, the dissolution of parliament and the formation of a transitional government. Satellite pictures taken in June and July this year show rising water levels in the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, aggravating diplomatic issues between Ethiopia, Egypt and Sudan on the use of the Nile River. The dam has been a source of tension in the Nile River basin ever since Ethiopia broke ground on it in 2011. Downstream countries, Egypt and Sudan, worry it will restrict vital water supplies. Addis Ababa long intended to start filling the dam's reservoir this month, in the middle of its rainy season. But authorities downplayed the recent rising levels, saying this was a natural part of the construction process. Cairo and Khartoum are pushing for the three countries first to reach an agreement on how it will be operated. Africa currently has more than 650,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. Half of those are in South Africa, which is doing the continent's first vaccine trials. Earlier this year, there was an outcry at allegations that Western nations would test potentially dangerous vaccines on Africans. In light of such fears, 6 academic doctors of Johannesburg's University of the Witwatersrand themselves volunteered to take part.
This is something that should be supported and encouraged, and that no one need be afraid of it. There has been some concern, among the lay public, but as a doctor, I'll tell you, this is nothing to be afraid of.
As and when a vaccine is found, the African Union has said it wants to be the central point of contact in terms of coordinating distribution.
We want to approach this as a continent and avoid a scenario where individual manufacturers approach countries as such to do that. We are not seeking to control efforts from different countries or the vaccine manufacturers, but we seek to coordinate.
Hospitals and clinics in South Africa's Eastern Cape province are bearing the brunt of the coronavirus outbreak, and its under-equipped healthcare system is pushing overworked staff to the brink of exhaustion.
It's a mental tiredness, it's an emotional tiredness, it's a physical tiredness. And I think I'm certainly trying to find the balance of how to keep going in a way that is sustainable. I think we all head out of the blocks at 100 miles an hour and then eventually you just grind to a halt.
The financial pressures are huge, and the largest private ambulance service in the city of Port Elizabeth is just about able to continue operations.
I don't think we could sustain it for another 3 months, and we've worked really hard to our staff have already taken a 30% knock, and we're now building our way back up to normal.
And Senegal resumes international flights after 4 months, having shut down air routes because of the coronavirus pandemic. At Dakar International Airport, authorities have implemented stringent sanitary measures to avoid imported cases.
Aujourd'hui, pour venir au Sénégal, nous exigeons Today, to come to Senegal, we demand strict compliance with border measures, namely the wearing of masks. Everybody wears a mask and maintains physical distance, and this includes in seating areas. There's hand sanitizer everywhere, even at the ATMs.
Passengers departing for the West African country are required to present proof from an approved laboratory that they have tested negative for the coronavirus within the previous 7 days.